Hello, students, and anyone else who may be watching from home. This is Mr. Borges, also known as Zanzolo, and today we're going to be talking about our next project here in Minecraft. So, we've got a new button here in Canvas for Minecraft Part 6. I'm going to go ahead and click that, and it's going to bring us up to our checklist. This is what you do. People always ask me, Mr. Borges, what do we do? This is what we do. There's an assignment checklist. If you're not sure, pause, fast forward, rewind this video that you're watching right now, and I'll tell you also step by step what we're going to do. So step one, you're going to download it right now. Download the Part 6 world right here, Code Builder 789. We're doing the next three in the tutorial. Right? Compass rows, superpowers, and save the cake. Those are the ones that we're doing. We are taking 6 pictures this time, and the reason why is because there are 4 superpowers. You're going to take a picture of each one. We've got examples of those 6 pictures along with descriptions. That's the next thing you're going to do. Number 4, take 6 photos. Right? First one is the one that shows the full compass rows. Right? And in your photo, you're going to make sure that the letter N, S, E, W, U, and S are all showing. Right? S isn't underground or anything like that. You might have to fly up in the air to run your compass rows and take a picture that shows them all and doesn't show more than one compass rows. I don't want to see a bunch of them overlapping. It's going to be confusing about what I'm looking at. So I'm going to have to fly off to a new area to run your compass rows program, take a picture. Then for superpowers, we're going to do speed, night vision, fly, and fireproof. For each one of those, when you have them, your character is going to have some particle effects, little swirls of color that come off of you. You're going to take a selfie of yourself with those particle effects. So for number 2, for the speed effect, I'll just go ahead and click on this one. You can click on any one of these, right? You're going to be able to see, I'll go ahead and zoom in to really show it, that you're going to have somehow, here's me running with the speed particle effects, right? And a running selfie. So, right, you do something like that for speed. And then for night vision, you're going to do something similar, right? You're going to be at nighttime, so you can see that it is night. The stars are out, but you can still see really well because I have night vision. And then you can also see the dark blue swirls. Those are the particle effects for night vision. Then we're going to do number 4, a selfie in the air with one other mob that's levitating, showing those particle effects. So there was a horse nearby, so I'm levitating and taking a selfie with this horse. And then here's some other animals that weren't nearby. You can see the pig and the sheep, right? But I want to be able to see for sure that you and the other animal are flying. So, I have to take more than one crack at this to get a good selfie that really shows this. I did. Okay, then for number 5, you're going to take a selfie of yourself standing in fire with the fireproof particle effects showing. I'm going to go ahead and open up and show an example of that. Right, so here's me standing in fire, but not getting hurt. I'm not red or anything like that, and you can see my orange particle effects. And I ran out of the fire as soon as this was over because I only had about 10 seconds. Okay, you can increase the duration if you want. Then the last photo, number 6, is a selfie standing on your cake. I couldn't think of a better way to do this one because this one is about teleporting, and you can't take a picture of yourself teleporting really. So if you can think of a better way to document that you did this one correctly, go ahead and let me know. Otherwise, for now, we're just going to take a picture of ourselves standing on the cake. Okay, then you're going to export your portfolio and turn it into Canvas. Those are the things you're going to do. Now, I've actually already downloaded this world, and it's not even showing on my downloads list anymore because it was a while back. Here we go. So I'm launching that world that I downloaded, Part 6 world. If you haven't logged in yet here, it's going to ask you to log in. It's asking me to sign in right now on another screen. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through all 6 of those photos and show you how you can take them yourself. I'm not asking you to watch this whole video. In fact, some of you won't need to watch this video at all, and that's just fine. Right? This video is for people who get stuck or need help. So inside this world, you can see there's a board here that's also reminding us what we're doing. Compass rows, superpowers, save the cake. You're going to press C open code builder, and you're going to pick Makecode if it asks you. There's my agent buddy. So I'm going to push C. If it asks you, you're going to pick Makecode. In this case, it did not ask me. And then here are the ones we did before: Chicken Rain, Mega Jump, Flower Trail, Super Digger, Fast Forward Billboard, and then here we are: Compass Rose, Superpowers, and Save the Cake. These are the ones that we're doing. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Compass Rose. We're doing blocks. And here's the instructions. So this tutorial shows how to create words and letters, text, from blocks. The text is placed in the Minecraft world at a position you choose using print. The object you will make is called a compass rose. This is a 2D marker showing north, south, east, and west directions. In the last step, you'll add another dimension to the compass rose to show up and down directions. So we're going to follow the directions here. So we're going to put an on-chat command block here, and we're going to rename this one Compass Rose. Okay. Next, we're going to insert print, going by color, right? Print is this color. You get a block of this color. Here it is, print. We're going to change the word hello to E, E for east, right? And then we're going to change the block. We don't want this to be a grass block up in the sky. I'm going to type glowstone. There we go. I don't have to finish typing it. Glowstone. Okay, there we go. And there's a hint here to help you figure it out if you need help. Then you're going to go into Minecraft, press T to open the chat menu, and enter Compass Rose. Then the print command will place a big E at your current position. So we're going to go ahead and try that out really fast. I click the start button. That seems to help. Sometimes you need to do that. I'm going to push T, or actually I just push enter, and then I'm going to type Compass Rose. There we go. It does matter. Spelling doesn't matter. Compass Rose. There we go. And let's see, did I spell it right the first time? There we go. Whoopsie, I did the wrong thing. Here is where we type Compass Rose. Here is where we type letter E. So if it doesn't work, you go back and figure out what you did wrong, fixupify it. All right, so now I'm going to push enter, up, enter. I won't have to type it over again. And there we go. There's my letter. It backed up a little bit, so I didn't suffocate inside the letter E. And here's my letter E. Now I want to go ahead and break this because I don't want tons of letters all over the place by the time we're done. And then I'm going to push C and continue. All right, so I'm going to change the position of the letter E to 2000 so that print places the E letter 20 blocks to the east. So the first number, there's 3 numbers down here, right? Number. The first one is the X coordinate, and this number right here represents the distance you go in the east-west direction. A positive value goes east. So by typing a 20 in here, telling that letter E to go 20 blocks to the east. The east of where? These little squiggles are telling you that it's a relative position, relative to the player. So it's going to be 20 blocks east of wherever your player is standing when you do it. Okay, there we go. Then we're going to go back into Minecraft. I'm going to go ahead and look east while we do this. And then let's see, east is that way. And nope, that way. So when you're looking east while we do this, I can tell because I'm looking at my position. My position's increasing. The X coordinate is increasing. That's why I know that's going to be the easterly direction over there. And now I'm going to push enter, up and enter, and then I get my letter E over there. And I was looking in the east direction just so that we could see it form. It's going to happen over this way either way. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and destroy that so we don't have tons of extra letters everywhere. Don't have to destroy yours, so I'm going to go ahead and push C. All right, and we're going to now do W for west. Now I'm going to right-click and duplicate this block right here so I don't have to keep getting glowstone out 6 times for my 6 letters. For this one, it's going to be W, and it's going to be the opposite of east. So if east is positive 20, then west is the opposite direction, is going to be negative 20. There we go. Right, west goes in the negative direction, right? So negative 20. Okay, now we're going to do 2 more. So we're going to do north and south, and they're both going to be 20 blocks away from the player. So I'm going to duplicate this just so that I get my glowstone already selected, and I'm going to pick north for this one. It's not in the east-west direction, so I'm changing the x-coordinate to 0. And here they're telling you that the third number, which is z-coordinate, the third number here, keeps track of the north-south coordinate. So positive value goes more south, and I think these hints are trying to be so helpful that they block the text here. A positive value goes south, and a negative value goes north. So if this is north, negative value goes north. So in the z-coordinate here, I'm going to type -20. All right, now I'm going to duplicate this again for south. South is the opposite of north, so if the opposite of -20 is going to be +20. There we go. Now I'm ready to do these. And we could go ahead and do them, but let's just go ahead and add up and down while we're at it. So I'm going to duplicate this S, just so I don't have to pick glowstone again. And this is not going to be change in the north-south direction or the east-west direction. Now I'm going to be changing the second number. So the second number here, this one, the y-coordinate, keeps track of the up and down elevation. So a positive value goes up. So for you, that's up. I'm sending it 20 blocks over my head by typing in a 20 there. And then we're going to do another one for D. It's going to send it 20 blocks under my feet. I need to do the opposite of up. Right? The opposite of +20 is going to be -20 in the y direction. There we go. So we're actually ready to try this out. I'm going to click Finish. I always click Play here because I think that it does seem to help sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't work without it. It's nighttime. That's fine. Our blocks are going to show up with glowstone. I'm going to fly up in the air. How far do I want to fly? Well, I sent the letter S 20 blocks underneath me. Right, so right now it's going to be 20 blocks underground. It's not going to show in my photo if I run it right here. I'm looking at my middle position is 4 right now. My y-coordinate is 4 in the position in the upper left-hand corner. I'm going to fly up to at least 24. Right, there's got to be at least 24, and I think even that will put the letter S partly underground. So I'm going to fly up a little further than that, and I think that should be good to go. So I'm going to push Enter. I'm going to press up arrow because I already typed compass rose last time, and then push Enter. Get it back, and now I'm not going to move. I'm going to hold still while these letters are going, because if I move while the letter E is getting made, right, then the letter U is going to be in a different place because I'll be in a different place. So, geez, you want to finish these? Is this glowstone over here? So interesting how it's, do you see that? It's not on from this side. It's not glowing from this side. I've never seen that before. I think my game is glitching out or something. Glowstone is supposed to glow on all of its sides. I'm not sure why that letter W is not glowing on that side. Anyways, doesn't matter. I'm going to get my camera ready. I'm ready to take a picture. And I can't take a picture of everything. Well, I'm standing right here. I'm going to have to fly away from this for a ways. And I'm going to fly up a little bit. I want to be able to get all this in one photo. So I'm thinking something like this. I probably could have been a little closer than that. So let's go ahead and try that too. That seems pretty good. Now I'm going to open up my portfolio. I'm going to get rid of this picture I don't need anymore. I'm going to change the caption. Oops. Compass. Oops. Roads. All right. There we go. And now we're done with this one. So I'm going to go ahead and head back over to my board. I can barely see it over there, but I know it's close to my agent buddy is at 0, 0. Right? So you can see my coordinates that are up there. Right? Making my x coordinate 0, making my z coordinate less negative. Now it's 0, and I'm very close to my agent buddy here at 0, 0. The up and down doesn't matter so much. I could dig down or I could go up. My agent buddy, though, is at when x is 0 and when z is 0. Okay, now we're going to do superpowers. So I'm going to go ahead and push C. I'm going to click Home button here to get back home, and then we're going to do the next one. So we've finished compass rose. Now we're doing superpowers. We're going to do this as blocks. The capabilities of your player, other players, or mobs are changed when you apply effects to them. Depending on which effect is chosen, you can either add a special power, or reduce the health of a player or mob. In this tutorial, we'll apply some effects that give players some superpowers. Right, here we go. So an effect applied to your player will last for the number of seconds you tell it to. This is the effect's duration. You also give a value for the strength of the effect, called the amplifier amount. I'm going to make an interaction so that when your player eats an apple, they are nourished and can run with a speed for 10 seconds. We're going to amplify the speed effect to 120. That's actually kind of way too fast, I think, but that's what they said to do. We're going to try it out. So on item use, we're picking an apple. So on item apple used, what are we going to do? We're going to apply, this is all color-based. I got this because it was dark blue. This is purple. I go to the purple blocks. There we go. We're going to apply the speed effect to yourself for a duration of 10 seconds. That's fine. And they want us to amplify that by 120. That's going to be really ridiculously fast. So you know. Okay, so I'm ready to eat this apple. And as soon as I do, so I'm going to go ahead and get into my selfie view right now. I'm going to eat this apple. And as soon as I do, I'm going to switch to my camera and take a picture. So eating the apple, you can see I already have this effect. I'm eating a bunch of apples. I already have this effect, and you can see the particle effects that are on me. And if I move forward, I'm like really fast. This is just silly. So you can't even tell what the heck's going on, really. So what I'm going to do, though, is, wow, that was just way too fast. I think what I'm going to do is stand over here where there was some light, or if you want to take a better picture in the light, you can go into settings, and you can change the settings. One of the settings is, I think it's considered a cheat, but you can say it's always day. Now, I'm not going to leave it that way. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off because the very next thing we're going to do is one that we do at night. So it just made it the middle of the day, but time kept going. All right, so I'm going to eat the apple. I'm not going to run anywhere because it's just too much of a blur anyway. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the selfie of myself. Okay, there we go. And I'm just going to go back before I get lost. It is pretty easy to get lost when you are running this fast, but don't worry about it so much. You don't have to come back to here, but even if you do get lost, remember your agent buddy is at 0, 0. So you should be able to find your way back. And if you struggle to find your way back, practice finding your way back. That's going to help you get better with your coordinates, actually. Negative and positive numbers. Okay, so pushing C and moving on. So we've done speed. So if you could see in the dark, you could move around without being easily noticed by other players or mobs. You could also keep building when night comes. Make a chat command. All right, so we don't need it anymore. I'm just throwing it away because you don't have to. I just have a really limited amount of space to show you stuff here. So I'm going to make an on-chat command that changes the time to night and applies the night vision effect to your player. We'll set the duration to 10 and amplify the effect. You know what? It's unnecessary. I think that's a bug. I think that's a typo. I mean, you don't need to amplify the effect for this. Okay, so we're going to set the time to night. Right? This is not going to work if you set your worlds to always day in the previous settings. So you might have to undo that if you left it that way. Then we're going to apply, not speed, the night vision effect, not to the nearest player, to myself. And you can increase the duration if you like. I'm going to, because if you leave it at only 10 seconds, it starts wearing off right away, and it kind of does this flashing thing when it's wearing off. It's kind of obnoxious. But the amplifiers doesn't matter. You can leave this as 1. You're either seeing in the dark or you're not. So I'm going to go ahead and click the start button because that does seem to matter sometimes. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to push enter. I'm going to type night. I'm going to push enter again. And there we go. You can see it's nighttime, but I can actually see really well down here because I have the night vision effect. So I'm going to push F5. Now you might have to push that function button on the laptop. You have to push function and then F5 if you're on a laptop to actually get that. You're gonna have to do it twice to get this point of view. So I'm going to take a selfie like this. I like the moon in my picture there, showing the particle effects. There we go. So I think that's a decent picture. And I'm going to change this one to, I'm just going to call it night vision. You can call it something else, but you can see the blue particle effects and the stars and the moon. Everybody can tell it's nighttime. All right, good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push F5 another time to get out of that view. And then I'm going to push C to continue with the next superpower. So we've all dreamed about being able to fly. We've all dreamed of being able to fly. Well, make it happen on your command. Create a new chat command called fly. Well, I'm just going to reuse this one. You don't have to. You can make a new one if you want to be able to do night vision and fly at the same time. Right, I'm going to create a new on-chat command called fly, and the chat command is going to apply the levitation effect. The levitation effect, not speed, levitation effect. It's going to attack to all mobs so that everyone will fly. So not nearest player, this is going to be all entities. Okay, and then we can leave the duration and that amplifier the way that they are. Now, if you set this duration to 2, that's actually a lot safer for all the other animals in your world. So let's just go ahead and see how that works. So right there, you've got pigs and chickens and sheep and stuff like that. So if I run this right now, fly, they're all going to start flying off the ground, but only for 2 seconds, and then they fall right back down and they don't get hurt at all. So that's kind of nice if you want to be nice to the animals. I can tell you if you change that duration to be much higher, they'll float up higher and they'll fall and get hurt. And if you change it too high, even what it started out as 10. If you just left it the way that it started out, what's going to happen? Now, this is going to be very sad. So you might want to close your eyes because I'm warning you, I'm a very bad man, I guess. So what I'm going to do is, and I'm going to get ready to take my selfie because these pigs are going to be here in a second. Right? I'm going to push enter up to get my flyback and push enter again and push F5. Okay, so getting my picture of, I only have 10 seconds to do this. I'm going to take my selfie of flying pig. All right, and then poor piggies. Right, so that was terrible. All right, so if you run out of all your animals in your world by doing a few tries of this, you can change the duration to be lower, and you can also, because you're in creative, you can get yourself some more pig spawn eggs if you need to, so we can get some pigs back. And try it again. All right, so that's the big idea. Now, my picture, I think I do have to try it again because I don't have any particle effects showing in my picture, so you can't really tell what's going on here. And that is too bad. I'm going to go ahead and delete that one. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make it daytime again. And I'm done, actually, now that I've already done night vision. I don't need it to be night anymore. I can just leave it on always day. Right, and then what I'm going to do, so sorry, piggies, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the fly command again and hold my camera and get ready to take the picture of piggies floating in the air. We're showing the particle effects. Oh, I didn't quite get it. There we go. And then poor piggies. It's really terrible. Although it's a fast way to get pork chops if that's what you're after. All right, so I might as well pick up the pork chops. Now I'm going to push C, and I'm going to talk about the next one. So this one is Fireproof. So going to, can you take the heat? Well, you can if you're fireproof. Make a chat command named Fireproof. Okay. Fireproof. And for this one, we're going to apply the fire resist effect, fire resistance, to your player. And we're going to fill in fire all around you. They show an example of this right here. Right? When you use the command, see that you can walk through fire without getting burned. Right? So I'm going to use the fill. It's all color-based. So I go to those blocks that are that color, get the fill block out. Right? We're not filling with grass blocks. We're filling with fire. I'm not going to search for it. I'm just going to type FI. There we go, fire. And where are we putting this fire? Well, we want the fire to be on the ground. So not up in the air. That would be this coordinate here. Not down underneath the ground. That would be negative y right here. We're going to leave the y coordinate 0. I want it to be to the left and right of me, so I'm going to move it. I'm going to put the fire to the west of me and going to the east of me, not stopping at me. I'm going to make it to the north of me and also then ending at the south of me, not ending on me in those directions, but staying on the ground right here. So it's going to make a square of fire that's 5 by 5. So it's going to be 25 blocks of fire that are created on the ground, and I'll be in the middle of them. So that's how it's going on with these coordinates that we're supposed to be learning about as we go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click the start button here. There's not that many poor animals left in my world, but I'm not going to stand next to that poor sheep because I don't want to barbecue them right now. So I'm going to stand over here, and I'm going to push enter, fly, enter. Right? Now, as soon as I've done not fly, what am I talking about? This is fireproof. Fireproof. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to hold my camera. I'm going to push F5 to change my perspective. Don't come on the fire piggy. Okay, then I'm going to take my selfie showing the orange particle effects. Whoops, it just ran out. Did you see that? Ouch, 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 ouch. I started getting hurt because I only had that for 10 seconds. I'm going to change the duration of this actually just to be longer so I can take my selfie. And then I'm going to head back over here. You better be careful, Piggy. And I'll push enter up to get fireproof back, and then there we go. I'm going to take a selfie showing my particle effects and standing in the fire and not being hurt. That's what I'm trying to get all of. I want to see more particle effects. There we go. I'm going to move out of the fire before that runs off. And going to open my portfolio. So what we can see here, here I'm all red. I was getting hurt. That is not what we want to see. My particle effects were showing what they had just ran out. Here, either one of these photos is okay, I guess. I think this one's better. I'm going to call this one Fireproof. And then we forgot to caption and delete our extra photos for this. So which one of the piggy photos? I like this one better. It shows the particle effects better on the pig. So I'm going to delete that one. And I'm not captioning it. So we have compass rose. I have speed. And caption that. Here's night vision. This one was fly and fireproof. So now I have captions for all my pictures, but there's still one more I need to take. So I'm not done. You can count them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's supposed to be 6. So we're not done yet. So what we're going to do is push F5 to get out of this view. Head back over to your board if you're not sure, and remind you that next we're doing save the cake. So I'm going to push C. For this one, we are done with this. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the last page and click Finish. That's how you get out of those. I'm going to click Home to get back to the beginning. And then I'm going to go to Save the Cake. We're doing this as blocks. To protect your cake block, you have to return to it periodically to make sure that some other mob isn't eating it. In order to return back to your cake, you need to remember the position you placed it at. We use variables in programs to remember numbers, logic values, text, and positions. In this tutorial, we'll use variables to save position and time. Okay, so here we go. On start, we're going to need this. On start, going to place cake. It's this color block right here, place. I'm going to click on it and then pick cake. Start spelling it. You usually don't need to finish the whole thing. There we go. So we're going to place cake right where we at, or at our position. Right? Then what we're going to do is we're going to make a variable that's called cake. Make a variable. I'm going to click this button, make a variable. I'm going to name it. Everything needs a name. I'm going to name it cake. Now what we're going to do is we're going to set cake to something. So here's the block, set cake to what? Cake is a container, it's just a variable. We're going to save something for later. What are we saving? The player's world position, the coordinates. Right now, my coordinates are 5, 4, and -3. That's what's inside here. So if I do this, when this block executes, 5, 4, and -3 are going to get saved into this variable. Right. So now we're going to make another variable that's going to remember what time it is when you start to wander away from the cake. So we're going to make another variable called wander. It's going to remember the time it was when you wander away. So we're going to set wander. All this is going to happen at the same time. When we click start, we're going to place the cake. We're going to set a variable to remember where I was when I did that. We're going to set another variable to remember the time it was when I did that. We can do that by using the time query block. Basically, it's just a time query, just means ask what time it is. So that's a brown block right here, get the time. And that's the big idea. So when I click start, we're going to place a cake. We're going to set a variable named cake to the position of the cake. We're going to set a variable named wander to the time that I did that at. Okay, so we're going to use both of those later. Okay, so here we go. So then we're going to use a forever loop to check how long you've been wandering away from your cake. Inside the loop, we'll use an if condition, an if block, to check to see if the game time is long enough to make you return to the cake. So in other words, this part's the part we already did. So we're going to get a forever block. It's dark green. Go ahead and get it out. And then we're going to put inside there an if block. An if block is going to let us check if something's happened, if enough time's gone by. That's what we're talking about. So are we going to do that, right? So inside the if condition, the thing that we're testing, we're going to subtract the time that it is right now and the current game time from the time that we've been wandering. And we're going to make the condition true if the time distance is greater than 300 ticks. So, right, I realize that might seem new to some of you, but I'm trying to show you all this on the screen at the same time. See, greater than 300 ticks. So we're going to find the difference between what time it is now and when we put that thing there. Right, so if we put it there at 12:05 and now it's 12:10, the difference would be 5 minutes. We'd find find the difference between when we put it there and what time it is now. And then we're comparing that to, has it been 300 minutes yet? So this is checking if, so we do the math on this one and we get 5. If 5 is greater than 300, well, it's not. So nothing happens. Right? Then we wait around long later, a couple of hours later, then when we check the time and do the subtraction, it has been more than 300 minutes. Then it's been like 400 minutes, right? 400 is greater than 300, then we do the stuff inside. And that's the idea of how this works. We're just kind of getting the hang of it for now. So I'm going to help you build this out, right? Stuff that goes inside here has only true or false stuff can go inside here. A number can't go inside here, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to put the greater block in, greater than. Because if something is greater than or less than, that's always just true or false. Yes, it's greater than, or no, it's not greater than. Greater than, just like in the picture. Greater than 300. So we're going to check if, what? This stuff over here. The difference, that means subtract, the difference between the time it is right now and the time that we put the cake away, if that difference is greater than 300. So we're going to get a math block out for subtract. We're going to check the difference between those two things, the difference between our wander variable, that time that we saved before, and the time that it is right now. We're going to just keep checking that over and over and over. The program's just going to, like crazy, the program's going to keep checking the current time, do the subtraction, and compare that to 300. So the minute that difference is 301, it's going to do whatever's inside this block right here. So what are we going to do? Well, we need to go check on our cake. So we're going to have the player say something about that. Right? I'm going to have my player say, oh, a cake. Okay, whatever. You're going to have your player say something. Then going to teleport to the cake. That's another dark blue block. Teleport to, not 000, teleport to that variable that we saved. So go to variables and get that out. We're not putting that, it's not a number that we're putting in for X or Y or Z. We're putting that in for the whole thing. You see the difference there? That's the one we're going for. Teleport to cake, and that would actually work. We'd be done and it would work one time. But it would never work again after that. If we wanted to keep going, we need to get a new time for when we saved the cake. Can't just keep using that old time. We need to get a new time, right? Otherwise, it's not going to go. So we're going to set wander, right? The time we've been wandering, not back to 0, back to the current time, whatever it is right now when that block executes. Okay, so I realized that there's kind of a lot going on in here. We're just getting the hang of using variables, setting variables, and doing things with the variables. So if you didn't understand everything that we did in here, that is okay, right? Just make sure that yours looks like the example like this or like mine in the video here. So you can pause it right now, copy that part. You can pause it right now to copy this part, right? Although you also see this other bit that was off the side. All right, so that's the big idea. I'm going to go ahead and click start. As soon as I do that, it's going to, the code is going to put cake on the ground. There's my cake. It's saved the location where I'm standing right now, and it started a timer. Right, so that once 300 ticks have gone by, I'm just going to go ahead and run away. Once 300 ticks have gone by, what it's going to do is it's going to make me say, oh, my cake, and then teleport me back to the cake all by itself. So I can check on, oh, my delicious cake, right? Okay, so go ahead and eat a couple pieces of your delicious cake and then run away. Right, but we're pretty worried about the cake, though. Somebody might be messing with it. Okay, we teleport back. Oh, we can check. Okay, my cake is safe. All right, that's good. Right, now this is actually kind of too fast, and it would be super annoying as a program to force you to teleport like this all the time, but you get the idea, right? So there we go. Check the cake. All right. Now the funny thing about this program too is if you completely eat the cake, it's still going to teleport you back to that same spot. It's not checking if there's any cake left. So I think I'm amused by that. Anyways, what we're going to do now is take the picture. So what picture are we supposed to take? I'm going to go ahead and push. I already ate my cake. I'm going to push C, push this start button to get my new cake back. I got a new variable. I got a new thing. And what we're going to do is I'm going to take a picture just standing on the cake because that's a ridiculous thing to do. So selfie, camera, standing on the cake. Right? Oh, I might as well get my agent buddy in the picture here. Whoops, you see? I teleported to not standing on the cake. There we go. 3, 2, 1. All right. And then my cake. All right, there we go. Now we've got your 6 pictures. Make sure you have them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to export the portfolio. Mine's getting saved to the documents folder. That's a fine place for it. The name Minecraft makes up for this file is a perfectly good name. I'm not going to change it or anything. It's asking me if I want to replace the one that I did from earlier as a practice. Yeah, sure, replace it. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to escape out of here. I don't need to close Minecraft, folks. I'm just going to go back into my web browser here, and we're going to go back to Canvas. So here I was looking at downloads. Here we are back in Canvas. What I'm going to do now is turn this in. So I'm going to go to my student view. I don't know if it's going to let me do this. Not 100%. I think I might give an error. Nope, there it goes. So I already submitted this, but yours will just say submit. So you're going to click submit assignment. You're going to choose your file right here, and then you're going to go back to that same location. For me, it was documents. If you saved it in on your desktop or your downloads folder or wherever, that's where it's going to be right now. So go back to documents. Some of you are getting mixed up and you're picking the wrong thing. Just hover over it for a second. See, this is telling you this is from February 22nd. That was like last week or something. That's not the one I just made, right? Check this one. Oh, this is the one that was made 9:44. This is the one that was made 1 minute ago on this day. That's the one I need, right? So double check that. We're turning in PDF files. Some of you are trying to turn in MC World files. This is the World file you just downloaded. I haven't saved it yet or anything, right? So this. You do not want to try to upload this. It won't let you anyway. If it gives you an error, that's because you made a mistake, right? You're going to send me the PDF file that's your portfolio. So I'm going to go ahead and click this and click open. Send me any kind of comment here that you want, and then click submit assignment. Now I did click submit assignment, and as you saw, that button moved when I did that, but it had to do with the comments field shrinking. It didn't actually accept the button click. It didn't throw candy. It didn't say that my assignment was submitted up here, so that's why I know it didn't really work. I have to click it again. And I'm sorry that Canvas behaves that way sometimes, right? What you need to do is just click that button one more time. Now I can see that it's doing something. Now it's going to throw a candy, and now it tells me that it's submitted. So until you see that, it's not submitted, folks. So please be aware of that. Okay, that's it for this one. So thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye.